Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
They're the same thing.
The same thing?
Yeah. So some people use two commands. One, like if they want the dog to kind of wait at the door, or it's going to be a short thing, and then somebody has a more formal one for long things. To me, it's just criteria creation and holding your dog to the criteria, right? So if I stop my dog at a door, my dog is anticipating going out that door and wants to go out the door. And so if I say wait or stay or whatever, as they, in that context, and they want to go forward, if I don't watch my criteria carefully, you undermine your command, right? And if you watch people, I watch people go in and out all the time, right? So, and most people will ask their dog to wait at the door. They'll open the door, and the dog is getting up when they say okay. Like they don't watch their criteria closely when they're at those places, right? And as a result, the dog's that behavior erodes, and then later the dog goes and they say bad dog, and they create confusion because they're not paying close attention to the criteria. And so for people that have a problem with that, having a separate one for that and a separate one for your formal stay where you're really going to pay attention to the criteria may not be a bad idea. For me, I use the same cue regardless, and the dogs, I expect them to stay until I release them, period. And I watch my criteria really closely at doors and gates and other places where I might say, hey, wait, or whatever your command is in that case. They don't get to go until they're committed to that position. But so it's possible for you to teach two. It's not really, in my mind, one's just a short stay, right? But some people do create different commands. They have a formal, like, long stay command that they're going to use in obedience competitions and things. And then they have a casual one that they're going to use on going in and out of doors and coming out of crates and that kind of stuff, where the dog's not going to expect it to do it for a very long time. And they don't care if there's a mild amount of erosion in it. So that's a personal choice.
Put the dog in a sit and then a stay, and the dog remains in place. However, he goes into a stand, but he doesn't move his position.
That's not, it's not a stay, yeah. Yeah, so he didn't stay. Yeah, so at those points, I'm going to put him back in a sit and do it over again. But like, people struggle with that because there are times when you're not dog training in your head. And that's one of the places for a lot of people that get, in those casual everyday things, they ask the dog to do something, and then the dog doesn't do it perfectly, or the dog does it and then is releasing themselves before they're paying attention, and they just let it go, or they didn't even notice. Like lots of people, I watch 100 people go out the back door, they go, sit, wait, they go to open the door, and the dog's already up and forward, and they say, okay, and they go right out the door, right? The dog already left before you said anything. And so later, when your dog doesn't wait, and you apply pressure to your dog for not waiting, that's not fair. Like, you've taught the dog that's acceptable behavior, and then the next time you're like, bad doggy, you didn't wait. And the dog's like, whoa, hey, what's wrong with you?
Do you always wait?
At the door, yep. So it depends on where the dog is. With my puppies, I don't. Like, I'm just running to the door and running out, right? But as my dogs get older, they all have to stop at the door. They have to look at me, and they have to wait for me to let them to go through on my verbal cue, and it doesn't have anything to do with the door, right? And it's not necessary that you do it all the time, but I take that as an opportunity to have my dog go through me to get something they want. They want to go out. At home, I do the same thing. Not all the time, but basically I say, oh, here's an opportunity. You want to go out? Sit, look at me, or look at me, wait. Okay, now you can go out, or whatever it is. And it's just a place in your everyday routine that you can factor some control and focus on you into something the dog wants, right? And a lot of our kind of routine interactions with the dogs are me making the dog do something for me to get things that they want. And if I can incorporate that into everyday management routines, then I'm better off, right? And so anytime the dog wants something, come out of its crate, go through a door, or whatever, I can ask them to do something simple before they get to do it. And I have an improved relationship and improved control over that dog in general as a result of it.